Welcome to PredWings podcast, where Smashville and Hockeytown collide. And now your hosts, Rhett and Ron White and D-Law, Dan Lawless. Welcome to PredWings podcast, episode 121. And our social media, PredWings podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and X is at PredWings Pod. And we're also on Podbean, so follow us so you can listen live. And our email is PredWingsPodcast@gmail.com. So another, I don't know, seems like a long week already.
Yeah, it does seem like a long week.
And there is no, actually, before we get into that, you can also listen to Sports with D-Law on every Wednesday night. Here we go. Sports fans, tune in to Sports with D-Law every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. live on YouTube as D-Law breaks down all the latest sports news and stories. Follow and subscribe on YouTube at Sports with D-Law, and don't forget to find us on Facebook and X at Sports with D-Law. You don't want to miss another exciting episode. So this week's Beer League Minute, there really isn't one because we had obviously the week off for Thanksgiving. But we have a playoff game this Thursday, actually tomorrow as we're recording. I'm not going to get into a big drawn out Beer League Minute so we can get right into the recaps, but we actually we finished the season with no wins, obviously.
Wait, no, you don't want to do your little intro? It's
I'll
tradition. It's part of the show.
Well, there really isn't a Beer League Minute. Oh, all right. There's no real Beer League Minute, though. All right, so this week, playoff game. Obviously, we finished with no wins. So we played the ninth place team, which is actually the same team that we finished up the regular season with. I don't know how many times that happens. Now, not usually hockey, but kind of like football. It seems like the last week of the season, teams play, and then they end up playing the next week in the playoffs. But anyway, so we play the same team. Maybe we can get a win, and if we win, we get to play next week. If not, then our season's done until January. Easy as that.
Well, that's a good Beer League Minute. At least we're not hearing about you getting shellacked. Well, I only let up 37 goals tonight. I'm just teasing you, D-Law.
Kind of like what happened last Wednesday.
Yeah, that was. Oh, what happened last Wednesday? You didn't share that.
The Predators and Red Wings.
Oh, yeah, that blowout.
Well, it wasn't actually the
blowout. It was 6-3. It just shows you the caliber of team that Detroit is. Like, no offense to Nashville, but you guys you got a great roster, but you guys just aren't playing well. And you found a way to mop the floor with the Red Wings, and it was
well.
We were just outplayed the whole game.
I mean, in their defense, though, the Predators they played a really good game, really strong game from the start to finish.
Yeah, but if Detroit was a better team, then they wouldn't be playing a better start. Is what I'm trying to say. You know.
I mean, they got through the first minute, because normally lately the Predators have been giving up these early goals, and that by not allowing Detroit to come out and score in the first part of the game, it gave them a little bit of confidence, and they're a young team for the most part. Yes, they do have veterans, but they're starting to score. Um, so I don't know if you want to, if you have anything, as far as the Detroit side. All I know is,
Yeah, the only thing I got D-Law is that with Detroit, there was no like we were just any time that a team plays us out physically, like you guys are hitting, you were checking, um, you were, I mean, in front of the nets, you guys owned us in front of the nets. I mean, just we allowed way too many like free shots, free goals, like uncontested shots. It was just not a good game. Detroit had obviously more shots on goal by a couple, but they weren't good quality chances. You out hit us 22-13. So,
and I mean, it was one of those games where, like, especially in the third period, it was a tight game, and
you
I
put 5
I
goals in the
I,
third
I
period,
remember
D-Law.
I remember watching game and doing our live show, and I kept thinking and saying, just expecting the Predators, something's going to collapse, something's going to happen, and Detroit's going to score a goal, and then it's going to fall apart, and it never did, and then Nashville got a goal, and then they got another goal, and um, I believe that's the game that they got. Two different times they scored a goal, two goals, and I believe
18
it was
seconds,
two goals in 18, and then there's another one that was two goals and
25.
yeah, something like that. So so that's four goals right there, real quick. I mean, that's usually what happens on the other side of Detroit or Nashville, excuse me, Nashville. I mean, usually that's what happens against them, and as far as the Predators standpoint, it was good to see that happen to them. They end up with 5 goals. Obviously, one was an empty net goal, um, but yeah, it was nice to see that third period, go in their favor instead of usually it ends up on the losing side. It was like they find ways to lose, and they ended up. They just kept pushing and found it.
Yeah, yeah, they played a good game. I can't take it away from them. In front of the net, they were just creating havoc. So, they deserved the win. They outplayed Detroit. They played a great game. Um, I mean, that's all I have for that game. It was
And,
embarrassing.
and those two goals that were 15 seconds apart, that actually was the fastest two goals by a defenseman in Predators history, dating back to 2006 when Shea Weber and Kimo Timonen. I remember those names.
Oh yeah,
Oh, way back. So, um,
a couple of beauties.
so
I can just roll through Detroit's quick
yeah,
if you want because I don't have a whole lot. It was kind of mediocre hockey, at best. We had the Lightning that came into Detroit and wiped the floor with us. Power play goal given up early. Um, just not good. Like our special teams is just it's just not there. And again,
something
we're just outplayed. I don't understand. I don't know. I just don't know what's wrong. Like we are out shooting our opponents almost every game, but we just can't score. We're just and that.
something
Sorry.
something interesting. Both those goal scores, the national championship game, were 6-3. I just think that was kind of interesting. I mean, obviously the one for Nashville and Indiana. I don't know about Tampa Bay.
Tampa had one too, but still, like it was just not good hockey. And then we'll go into Boston. Boston ended up going to a shootout, which is fine. The Wings took a point out of it, but we were bullied the whole game. Sider got like knocked out, literally knocked out, because he can't fight. Detroit does not. Detroit has to be one of the weakest teams, and I say this, D-Law, and I mean this, and I will, probably argue with anybody. So far, Dylan Larkin is our best fighter. You heard that. Dylan Larkin is our best fighter. How is that possible? How has Steve Yzerman not put one man, not one, and he just keeps getting passes every single year for putting a mediocre subpar team on the freaking ice. But we have nobody. We don't have one guy on our team that can do anything remotely physical. Not one. We have three giant man children on our team. You have Michael Rasmussen, who can't do anything, can't check. Simon Edvinsson, who can't check, can't do anything. And you've got Elmer Soderblom, who also it can't check or can't do anything. Like they are just big bodies who are just a waste of space out there. Granted, they're playing okay. Rasmussen's not playing that great. Edvinsson has his gifts. Um, but we are just, I mean, and I mean this, we have to be one of the weakest teams on paper, without a doubt. And it showed in Boston. We were bullied all over Boston. And, Detroit just couldn't match it. We didn't match it. Um, they just, it was just, it was a nightmare. Um, but then we'll go into the second Boston Red Wings game, and Detroit came out to play, but they tried to give it away still. And I mean, they had a 5-1 lead, and somehow they managed to win 5-4. Like it was just, D-Law, I can't even explain it. I don't know, understand this team. Like I love that we've got the young guys. I love that we've got the guys that are trying to, um, we've got the youth, and we're giving them some shots like Danielson, Axel sending Palika, and who else we got out there?
The one year rookie.
Finney, Emmett Finney. Yeah, I mean we've got some young guys on this roster, which is good. We haven't had this in a while. We've got some youth that can come up, but they're not physical. They're not. I don't even know how to explain it, D-Law. But the Red Wings are struggling. They're struggling, and we give passes to Yzerman every single year. The process, the process, the process, the process. Like, okay, when is your process actually going to start working? Because it's not like Detroit's not going to make. If they make the playoffs, it's going to be very, very thinly, and they're going to have to rely on everybody else to lose. Detroit started out great. I don't know what it is. They can't finish games, but they end up winning this one. Got a little bit more physical. You and I had talked about it before this podcast, but Zadorov took a clear shot, elbow right in Sider's face. I mean, it was blatantly intentional. It wasn't an accident. Then they got a little rough. Zadorov got a 10-minute, and then a 2 minutes for elbowing. Sider got a 2-minute for roughing. Yeah, it was one of those types of games. It was just a gritty game, and the one thing I'll give about Sider is, you know, well, the other thing is with Zadorov in this game, he just looked foolish. He went to go lay a nasty hip check on um, DeBrincat. DeBrincat just skated around him, and he slid across the ice and didn't even touch anything. He was just laying on the ice, literally laying on the ice. He went to go check. Who did he go to check? Marco Casper. He went to go check Marco Casper, and he got reversed hit and knocked over. This is a big body Zadorov.
Well,
So
he's gonna have to watch it because he had an elbow earlier on a Toronto player as well.
yeah, he'll get it. I'll be very shocked if he doesn't get suspended for that.
And I mean, there was a tweet. Obviously, probably a Bruins fan. I don't know. I don't know if I should kind of call out his Twitter.
Go for it.
But apparently, I don't know who he is. Jack Studley, at Jack Studley 13. He tweeted out, obviously, this is last night on the second. That's a and I quote, "That's a beautiful executed elbow right there. Mo Sider with the stick wrapped around Nikita Zadorov's neck warrants it."
Yeah, but
And
he didn't put the stick around his neck. He should
um,
have.
so I don't know what these Bruins fans. I mean, just the first. There is no such thing as a beautifully executed elbow. I mean, an elbow is a cheap shot, dirty. It's not. It's not hockey. So I just happened to looking at this, trying to see video of the elbow and all that, and
Oh, it was pretty obvious.
clearly a fight, and well,
You
so
know,
I
but Cider
so
bounced back.
slowly it was a fight, but it was more like a scrum,
Yeah, there was a little scrum that
and
ensued.
then I happened to see this tweet, and it's just I had to mention it because I mean it's just disgusting, and I mean I suppose not all Bruins fans are like that, but it's
No,
just
they're not.
typical Boston fans and stuff like that. And I
But
wish
they love Boston. Boston
I
loves that
wish
physical hockey. The fans love it. They absolutely love it, and I don't blame them. My buddy's a diehard Boston fan, and he loves that they have Janot. He loves that they have Kastelik, who's not really a good fighter, but he can hold his own. And they've got Zadorov. Like they've got three guys who, if you go out there and screw with any of their guys, you're going to have to answer the bell. Like they've got guys like that, and that's what the fans enjoy. I
I,
enjoy that too. If I had that in Detroit, I'd be ecstatic. And they're
I,
playing good.
I, I just wish we had Dose back in and would get his thoughts on it, all this, and see what he would think. But I think
I mean, it was a pretty blatant elbow, and like I was saying with Sider, like the last game, he got knocked out, like literally right hand to the jaw, went down, went back into the locker room, came back out in the third period. First thing he does, he blows up Geeky at the blue line, explodes him. Geeky's trying to break out with his head down. Sider came out of nowhere and freaking just he put him into outer space. So the kid has guts. I'll give him that. He can't fight, but he's physical and he's tough, but he just can't fight. Um, but he had 3 points in the second Bruins game. He played really well, and you know Detroit was able to match the physicality a little bit. And the thing that, like, I'm done with my recaps. They're over. JVR had his four. I mean, just DeBrinket has his 13th. He's playing very well. Raymond's got his ninth. Kane's got his ninth or 13th assist. Like, the guys are doing what we thought. But with a coach like Todd McClellan, you would think that this team would be a little bit more feisty. They'd have a little bit more grit, a little bit more oomph, and a little bit more push in, who they are. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They don't have that identity. Eisman, it just does not feel that that's the type of team that Detroit should be, apparently, and that's that.
um, before I jump in my present, I just want to there was you had brought up JVR, and I was just interesting.
Their
Uh,
brothers, John and
there
James, they've been playing for a
there
long time.
was there was uh, another Van Riemsdyk in the league.
I think you just
Think
missed
his
what
name
I
was
said.
Trevor.
There's another one, Trevor.
I think his name was Trevor. I don't
What?
know if they're related or.
I cut you off there for a second. I was like, yeah, there's John and James.
Oh, okay. Because I don't remember hearing. I know Jane JB are the one in Detroit, but I didn't
Yeah,
know.
Trevor. He's on the Capitals, right?
Yeah, it's Washington. That's right.
I just pulled it up.
It was
Let's
Washington
see.
and
He's
Washington and the
TVR.
Kings.
I want to know who his family is, who he's related to.
Because there used to be a
Oh,
Van
he's the
Riemsdyk.
younger brother of JVR.
Okay,
Yeah, okay, so still a brother.
I wonder if wasn't there an
I thought
Van
there was a John
Riemsdyk
and a
older?
James.
Maybe. Because I thought there was one going back like in the '90s.
And maybe that's what I'm thinking
So
of.
maybe it's his uncle or father. I don't know, probably wouldn't be his father. I don't know. I have to look into that. But so anyway, the Predators coming off the Detroit game. They had to go to Chicago. This was obviously Thanksgiving. Um,
Yeah, I guess it's just James. I misspoke. I was wrong. I thought I could have sworn there was a John.
I thought so too. I'd had okay.
Maybe it's
Um,
spelled differently. I don't know.
I don't know. So
Oh, it was spelled differently. Yeah. Okay, that was my fault. Yep, it's spelled differently. Different families. I lied.
okay.
Take it off.
All right. So anyway, Predators. Try to make this real quick. Coming off the Detroit game, this is obviously Thanksgiving weekend. They had to go to Chicago, and obviously another team playing a backup against the Predators. I don't know. Maybe Chicago should have put the starter because um, they just, they actually played pretty good. Interesting side note, Predators they've played Chicago more than any other team. 141 games, 71, 51, and 12 ties. So obviously they're a division team. So, um, but there was a incident. It was actually I it had to have been a home call. I don't want to be blaming the refs like I don't usually do that, but um, so why they called Weisblatt, one of our decent rookies. He goes to the net and everything. Um, but they called for a kneeing. He actually lined up. I don't remember who it was now in Chicago, but he lined him up with the head, and the Chicago player kind of cut back, and they didn't actually call a penalty, and then there's a little scrum, and then that's when they called the penalty during the scrum. So they didn't actually call the penalty when it actually happened until after the scrum. So that's why I kind of think it was a home call. Um, but yeah, it was a good good win, 4-3 win, and then and then they go to Winnipeg and actually they come back home and they just gave up another early goal and they couldn't overcome it and just they just weren't in the game. I mean, it almost looked like they're going to get shut out. I don't think they scored till like the third period. Um, but then they had a few days off and they still home and play Calgary and interesting enough, their last home win was versus Calgary. That was back and on November 1st. It was a 4-2 win. Um, they just totally dominated Calgary. Devin Cooley played for Calgary, which was actually in Predators farm system. He played for Milwaukee. I don't believe he actually played a game for Nashville, but he played Milwaukee. And we had a couple rookies get their first goal. Reed Schaefer, his first NHL goal. He's played. He's looked pretty decent. He played the last 3 or 4 games. He had his first NHL goal, and then Weisblatt finally scored a goal. He's been looking really good lately. Just it's when he scored that goal, he was just like you could see he's like looked out. It was like the relief. It's like because he was so close to scoring a goal, and he finally did it. But coming into this game, the last set, Calgary was 5-3, 2 of their last 7. So I mean, they have improved. They were obviously in last place, but over the last 7 games, they really improved. Marchessault got back in the lineup after being injured, and he actually scored a goal in this game. So good to see him do that. Stamkos scored a goal. I believe that. I don't remember if that's a power play or not, but interesting enough, the linesman actually, and I don't know why they don't just let it play. Um, the puck never went out of the blue line, and they whistled down for outside. Um, Predators end up scoring, but it was they blew the west. They probably wouldn't have scored if they would have let it go. It probably wouldn't have been a goal because it was one of those things where they blew the whistle and then everybody stops. So, um, but yeah, it kind of drives me crazy that. I mean, he's supposedly right there on the line. I mean, and they showed the replay, and it clearly didn't. It has to go all the way over the blue line, and it was still on the blue line. And it's like, yeah, I don't. It's just I don't know. And interesting enough, this 5 goals was the most goals they scored at home all season. And I don't know. I don't know if you know about this, but I'm still kind of. I think it's a newer rule. Um, the face-off violation penalty, I guess it is. I thought it was just like a face-off violation, and they toss the center, but apparently it's a penalty because
What?
Calgary got a face-off violation penalty. So I
I
wondered
wonder
if
if they were kicked out twice.
do you know what I because I'm clueless. I don't know if you have any insight on that. I'd never really seen it.
I'm going to look it up and read right now. An
Um,
NHL face-off violation penalty, officially called a bench minor penalty for delay of game, is assessed to a team that commits or more face-off rule infractions during the same face-off. Yeah. So that means 2 people got thrown out of the circle and they got a penalty for it.
oh, so it's basically like a delay game then.
Yep.
Okay, so that's something. Okay, all right, because I never seen that happen before. I'm till tonight or yeah last night. So, but yeah, that's I mean it was nice to see him bounce back, and that's what three wins out of the last 4. So I mean, obviously, Winnipeg has been struggling. So it's probably a game that they would have liked to have. Um, it's not like they're a hot team, um, but I mean, they just came out flat, and like I said, they they're so used, give up these early goals and these lapses, but um, it might be trending in the right direction. So we'll just have to wait and see. And So yeah, that's it for the Predators this week. Um, so going back to our trivia question, in what year did the NHL introduce the salary cap? The guesses were 2000, 2005, 2010, or 2015. I believe Ron decided on 2000.
I think that's what I put. No, I think I went 2005. But it could have been
No,
later. It could have been
no,
2010.
I have you listed as 2000.
Okay. I'll stick with it. That was a poor guess on my part.
And the correct answer was 2005.
Really?
All right. Oh, there it is. So let's see. This week's trivia question. It's gonna be a really easy one. I don't even know why I even bother. um, it's gonna be really easy. What is the term for an achievement in hockey that involves a player recording a goal, assist, and a fight in the same game? Power play hat trick,
Mm,
Bob Probert hat trick, Bob Orr hat trick, or the Gordie Howe hat trick?
I'm not even gonna answer because I already know it.
I think everyone knows this answer, so I figured we needed an easy question. I got to dig in to get some hard questions. So, I mean, it'll be posted on social media. I know it's a real easy question, but it's the holidays. We need to give people some easy questions,
Sure.
kind of like a freebie. um, did you actually? There's no suspensions or fines
Nope.
yet. Um, maybe there will be coming up on Zadorov, but Sagan is going to be out for the season with an ACL. It
I
happened.
saw that. It looked pretty bad.
It happened against the Rangers. Was there Toronto? Who they just play?
I think it was
Or
the Rangers.
or they just played? It happened against them. I think it was the
The
overtime
Rangers.
game or something. Um, so
They at
yeah,
least slid into him.
I didn't actually see it. But yeah, that's it for that. But I do want to mention the rookie chase because your Detroit's got a guy in the top 10. Emmett Finney's tied for eighth with 12 points, and he is also tied for eighth in goals with 5 goals. And of course, Matthew Wood is tied for second with 7. There's a
Yeah, Matthew Wood's playing well.
three-way tie for 7, although he hasn't scored in a couple of games now. But so I mean, he's still only 1 goal behind Matthew Schaefer, who's having. I'm actually kind of rooting for him. His story is pretty harsh. It's it makes you want to root for him. Um, Coming from his background and his family, but I mean, it would be nice to see the Predators finally get a rookie. Probably won't happen, but there's your rookie chase. But yeah, I mean, and you mentioned um, Detroit, kind of not being, they probably won't be making the playoffs, but I mean, they're still sitting there tied for second with Ottawa in the division with 30 points. So, I mean, unless they totally collapse, we're not even halfway through the season yet. So I guess I mean it's still early. We're not even halfway yet, but they're in a lot better position than Nashville. I mean,
For now.
Nash, Nashville actually has to have almost a miracle. I mean, yeah, they're only 6 points behind the wild card right now, but I mean, it's like I said, it's early, but it's the probability of Detroit making the playoffs is way higher than Nashville.
Well, for the
So
time being, I mean, who knows what's going to
I mean,
happen?
the Predators would almost need to have like a huge 20 game win streak or something like that in order to be in the. I mean, because I know they're won 3 of their last 4, and as much as that helps them, other teams are winning. I mean, yeah, that win against Chicago was huge because of the division game and they're ahead of them in the standings. So it's the proverbial 4 point swing. Um, but yeah, it just we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's still early. We're not even the halfway mark yet, I guess we can go into the weekly pick segment.
Sounds good.
So we were both wrong on Detroit. Actually, on both sides, Detroit and Nashville game, both wrong.
Yeah, we were.
But the Chicago Predators, I was wrong and you were correct. And we were both right on both the Winnipeg and Calgary. And then Detroit, we were both wrong, and Tampa Bay, both right on the first Boston. And you were correct. You were actually right on both Boston, but I was wrong on the second Boston. I thought I thought they were going to lose
I had a
both.
feeling Detroit was going to lose that first one at Boston. I feel like they never play well at TD.
I'm just surprised. Boston must be that kind of a funny team then, because I thought they were a lot better. I thought they were. Well, they are. Wait, well, they got 30 points, so they're actually tied with Detroit. So, boy, that is a tight conference.
Yeah, it's a good.
I mean,
It's good.
Florida's in dead last of 25, and they're only 5 points behind Ottawa and Detroit. So anyway, that leads us with, you want to do your picks first? Starting with
Let me
Columbus
let me
at,
do the
oh, you
try.
got a road trip. Wow.
Yeah, I can work with Detroit. So
You got a six
the
game road
first
trip.
game we're at Columbus. I think we're going to win that game. I think we're going to come back to back. Put a little streak together, but then I think it's going to end in Seattle, continue to end in Vancouver. So I'm going to go win in Columbus. What do you think?
I think I go with a win. Columbus is kind of, yeah, they're. I don't know. I don't think they know what the heck's going on with them. So I'll call that a win.
I'm going to go a loss at Seattle.
I think I'm gonna go for a win.
Okay.
Let's see. Seattle is. Let's see real quick here. They are, well. They're 6-3-3 at home, but they're they're kind of inconsistent.
Okay. I think Vancouver's going to be a loss.
I think they'll lose to Vancouver at Vancouver, and then that should lead us into Tuesday night, the 9th.
Okay.
Unless you want to do the 10th, but
I'm going to do it just in case. I'm going to go with a win at Calgary. I think we're going to, midway through, I think we'll bounce back from those two losses.
Calgary, there no coming. That was the Predators game. That was their last game of the road, their long road trips, and so the Calgary's got a nice little homestand here. I don't think that's the first game. I don't think that's the first game back from the homestand. But they have been playing fairly well. So I think I'm going to go out on a limb and cut a loss. Detroit will probably win it, but Calgary, for the most part, the last 10, I think, and they're back home. So I think I'm going to go with a loss with that one. And
Okay.
obviously I might change it.
Well, let's bounce over to Nashville.
All right, so we got a little road trip here, Florida and Carolina. The Florida coming up tomorrow night, Thursday night. I think coming off, they just played Florida at home and got thumped before that little 3 out of 4. I think they're going to come out with a lot better effort against Florida and shock them and win that game.
I'm going to go with a loss.
And then they moved to Calgary. It's a back-to-back game. I assume Saros will probably start Florida, so that means on it. I mean, obviously, just my guessing. But I think they're going to end up losing to Carolina,
I think they're going to beat Carolina.
and then they're back home next Tuesday, the 9th, against Colorado. They can't match up with Colorado still. It's a loss.
I'm going a loss on
And
that one
then
too.
that should lead us into next week's show, because the next one is the next Thursday, the 11th. So 3 games for the Predators
3 for the
next
Wings.
week, and I think that's about it.
Nice, easy, quick one.
So our social media again, PredWings Podcast, Facebook and Instagram. X is at PredWings Pod, and you can always follow us on Podbean and listen live normally Tuesday nights. So join us Tuesday nights and email us PredWingsPodcast@gmail.com, and that's all I got for this week.
Sounds good. That's all I
Hey,
got.
thanks for tuning in to the PredWings Podcast.
Good night, Hockey Town.
See ya, Smashville.